Hi, hi everyone, how are you doing? In this video, we are going to be talking about the taskbar settings and other settings in Windows 10, and this is going to be our third lesson. So there's not really much to talk about in this video. We are going to go into our virtual machine and then do the practical stuff we're meant to do. But before starting up the machine, I want to quickly show you about what are we going to be doing when we mention what we are going to be doing when we start our machine. So we are going to be doing the taskbar settings. We are going to see what do we do with our taskbar. We're going to see what do we do with our notification settings. We're going to see the almighty control panel. I call it the almighty control panel because that's where you have all your administrative tools in order to control your computer, to give it some settings, personalization, and whatever you want to do. You have all of them in control panel. Also, we are going to in this video create a user account, and whatever I think after these four things, if there's anything more I'll do, that will be if I have the time, because I don't want the videos to be too long. I don't want them to always be too long. So there's one more thing I'm going to do in this video. We are also going to upgrade make a migration. So what do I mean by migration? That is, you are going to be migrating from one version of Windows, from one edition of Windows to another edition. So in that case, when we talk about migration, there are three ways in which you can migrate your operating system. So we can make an in-place upgrade. An in-place upgrade simply means that you you have a laptop or a desktop computer and you are running Windows 7, or even you are running another operating system like say Mac operating system, and now you have decided to move on to Windows operating system, and then you want to change your operating system, so you want to migrate to another operating system, a new one. So in place upgrade is what some people will use to do that. And when you make an in place upgrade, when you make an in-place upgrade, what it means, I'm trying to get let me get that up. This is my pen. So and slideshow. So when you make an in-place upgrade, what happen is every problem or every fault that your computer is having prior to you moving, you are going to bring it on, import it into the new operating system you are having. So let's say for example, you are on a Windows 7 you are on a Windows 7 operating system, and then you want to move to Windows 10. So before you move to Windows 10, your Windows 7 operating system on your laptop is having some faults. Some application is having some faults. Some things are not working well. Then when you make an in-place upgrade, what you are just going to do is to just install Windows on the other, or a new Windows on the old one you are having. So in that case, you are going to be bringing the problem you had in the previous Windows into the new one. So for me, I don't like doing in-place upgrade. There's another one called the side-by-side upgrade, and the side-by-side upgrade or migration. The side-by-side migration is when you have two different computers, two laptops or two desktops, and on one you have old version of Windows, let's say Windows 7, and on the new one you have Windows 10. So with side by side, what it means is you are going to copy your user profile, your applications, your folders. You are going to copy everything on the old one onto a USB drive and then bring it onto the new laptop or desktop. So that's side by side, copying your folder from one and bringing it to the other one. That's side by side. So wipe and load, which is the best method of migration, which is what if you are working in a company, you are going to be using side by side all the time. There's never a time when you are going to do an in place or a side by side upgrade. You are always going to be using wipe and load. So wipe and load simply means you have one laptop or you have one desktop or a computer at work is not functioning very well. So what you are going to do in that case is go to the computer, wipe it off, remove everything the computer is having, and then load a new operating system and then install your application on it. In wipe and load, sometimes you might want to just copy your folders from the old one before you wipe it, copy your folders, copy your application, and then wipe them all onto you copy them onto a USB drive and then wipe them all, install new Windows, and then bring your application back to you. So wipe and load is the best method of migration. This is what we are just going to talk about today. I will see if time will permit me so that we can make in place upgrade. We have done a wipe and load installation, remember, when I install Windows, but today I'll try and see if we can make an in place upgrade. And lastly, and lastly um, and lastly so after explaining all these things, I've explained wipe and load and all that. So there's not much for me to say again about the slides. We need to jump into the environment, the virtual environment, where we are going to be doing everything I've mentioned. So please like and subscribe to my channel. Do not hesitate to ask questions using the comment section if you have any question. Alright, so thanks for watching, and I hope that I'm helping some people while making all these videos. So let's jump into Hyper-V. This is the Windows 10 that we installed when we started this video series. So I'm going to bring it on. So I'm just bringing it on. Let's wait for it. Now my video my what's it called is on now. So let's sign in to Windows now. I want to sign in. What's my password? I'm waiting for it to get ready. Let's wait for Windows to get ready. Alright, now we are in Windows and we want to talk about the taskbar today. So remember, that was what I showed you in my slides. We want to talk about the taskbar. What do we call the taskbar? So the taskbar is this. Can you see this here? This black line here, where we have this button. That line is what we call the taskbar. So what can we do with the taskbar? There's a lot we can do. There's not so much, but there are things that we can do with the taskbar. So let's start using the taskbar now. If I right click on my taskbar, these are the menu. When you right click on your taskbar, these are the menu you are going to see. You can see I've got taskbar settings, I've got lock the taskbar, and you can see if I lock my taskbar now, that means I can't move my taskbar around. I can't drag it and change the position. But if you don't lock it, you see it's locked. That's why you have this mark on the side. If I unlock it, now I can drag my taskbar around my window, around my desktop. Normally, taskbar is meant to be at the bottom. Sometimes you are working in a company and a staff would call you to say, I don't know, my taskbar is not at the right position. All you have to do is bring the taskbar back to its position and right click and then click lock the taskbar. That way the user or the staff will not be able to drag the taskbar around. One other thing that's interesting to know is that, let's say you are working in a company and you have about thousands of computers. Would you be going to each and every computer and then right click on the taskbar and then lock the taskbar? No. That's why you are going to be the one who manages the computers you are having in your company. So you are going to be the IT engineer. There is a domain controller which you are going to be using, and with that domain controller you are going to be able to manage all your computers on that one. You are going to be sitting in front of the domain controller and you will be able to manage all other computers that are in your network. So in that case, you are going to be using group policy to control all of them. So in this case, because I'm using just one computer, that's why I'm doing it like this. We are going to get to where you are going to be doing how to do it, how to control more than one computer at a time using group policy. So let's continue. With the taskbar, there's what we call task manager. So with the task manager, after opening the task manager, I can see the processes running on my computer now. I can see the performance of my computer, and as you can see, it shows that I've just switch this computer on because it says uptime is 3 minutes 28 seconds. So it means I've just switched it on. You can see my disk is good, is working well. You can see the memory is good. You can see, so all those things, when you right click on the taskbar and click on task manager, you can see them. This is startup. Sometimes when you start up your computer, some application are going to start immediately you start your computer. So, and when if you have so many applications that starting with your computer, then your computer or your laptop, your desktop is going to be slower. So what you can do is to come here and right click and say disable. So you are saying to this computer, to this computer I'm on now, that whenever I start my laptop or my computer or my desktop or whatever you call it, I don't want you to start with it. So that if you disable it, if I also disable this, what that means is you can see the status is disabled now. My computer is going to start faster because there is no application starting with it. So that's what you can do with startup applications. So users, here you can see who is logged in on your computer. You can see which application that person is using, and then services, we are going to talk about that later. So that's from your task manager, your task manager on your taskbar. What other things can we do? Let me see. Taskbar settings. Let me click on that and see what that is. So on taskbar settings, okay, I won't be able to do taskbar settings on here because my Windows is not activated. So I'm going to do taskbar settings on my physical computer, which is this now. This is my physical computer. So if I right click on here and go to taskbar settings, now what can I do with my taskbar settings? That's what I want to look at. I want us to look at. You can see here it says lock the taskbar. So that's why I was able to lock my taskbar. I can unlock it, then that means I'll be able to move my taskbar around. Can you see that? I'm moving my taskbar around. That's because I've unlocked it. So I'm going to lock it back. Automatically hide the taskbar in desktop mode. And you can see if I switch it on now, the taskbar will be hidden now. So let's try that on. Can you say I can't see my taskbar again? That's because of the settings I've done here. So let me just bring it back on. Can you see my taskbar is back again? Automatically hide taskbar in tablet mode. So if your computer is in tablet mode, I showed you tablet mode the last time. So tablet mode, so if your computer is in tablet mode, you can automatically off your taskbar. So these settings, they are pretty much well explanatory. So when you go through them and try them out, you're going to see what they do. But I want to talk about the stats here. What can we do with the stats? So show more tiles on stats on stats. So this is stats here. This is what you call the stats on Windows 10, the four squares, the Windows button or the waffle button. So if you want to click on that now, look at, before I turn it on, let's try and click on start and see. Can you see? This is all we can see now. This is all we can see, and these are what we call tiles. All these things here, when the calendar, the mail, the paint, the Microsoft 365, these are tiles. So now if I say show more tiles on stats, now if I click on it, let's see. Can you see? I've got more tiles now. I've got more tiles now. So I just want to say I want to switch that off. Let's see, what more can I do? Show app list in start menu. So show app list in start menu. You see this application here, you're seeing these ones. That's what that does, because it's showing me the applications I have installed on my computer. I have installed Google Chrome, I have installed Cisco Packet Tracer, I have installed all these ones, I have installed 7-Save, I have installed 3D Viewer, I have installed Too Simple software, Adobe Acrobat. These are applications that you have installed on your software. So if I say switch, if I turn that button off, if I click on it now, then I won't see those applications again. Can you see? Those applications are not there again. Let me go back and bring that on, and then I want to show you that once that is on, these are the applications again. Let's go to the next one. The next one says show recently added applications. So this is going to show me the applications that I've just added, that I've just installed on my computer. So what we do is, let me remove it. So, and then we go there, you are going to see there's no one here. There's none of the application. You can see this says most used. So let's see. We don't see anyone that says recently added. So let's go back now and add and switch this on, and then go back there. You're going to see I have recently added applications. So the same thing with show most used apps. So if I go there, I'm going to see show most used apps. So if I switch that off and I go back there, I'm not going to see most used apps again. So I like to always see that. So this is what you want to be able to do. Make sure you familiarize yourself. Make sure you familiarize yourself with Windows so you know where to go when there is any problem. So background, if we want to change the background of your desktop, you can click on anyone here, choose this, and you can see it's changing here. Click on that and it's changing there. And taskbar setting, which is what we are doing now. We have done that, lock the taskbar and all that. So that's that about the taskbar. So let's go ahead with the next thing. After we've done the taskbar, I want to show you to the notification settings. The notification settings is here. This is where I have the notification settings. So you can see it says to me that I have firewall stretch protection, which I can close. It says to me I have something happened and we couldn't install a feature. So those are notifications I am getting. So that's fine. So to go to the notification settings, I'm looking for the all settings, but I can't see here. So what I'm going to do, you can see what I can see now. I can see screen snap, night, light, location, and tablet. So I want to go to the settings app. Settings app. If I click on that, I actually want to change what I'm seeing there. If I go to system, I go to notification. I want to see tablet mode. I don't want to see like I want to see all settings. So I'm dragging them. I want to see what again? I want to see airplane mode. What again do I want to see? I want to see I think network will be fine. That's all I want to see. Now if I click on here now, you're going to see I can only see all those four things that are there. That's what I can see. And if I expand, I can see all these things. Now you can see, now I can see all of them. So you need to get yourself used to how do you do things in Windows 10, because if someone is having a problem and you don't really know how to get to where the problem is, you won't be able to fix the problem. So that's that about notification settings. Let's see, after the notification settings, the next thing I want to show you is what we call the control panel. Remember when I was showing you my slides, I say I call it the almighty control panel. So to get to the control panel, I'm going to go in there and type in control. Control will bring the full thing, and then I can click on that. So if I click on control panel, look at what I see. I see this, and you can see they are in the small icons. Now you can change it, the view, to large icons. You can change the view to categories. So I like to always have it in, most of the time, small icons. And here in control panel you can see a lot of things. We have administrative tools. This is where you see things that you use to control your computer. Credential manager. This is where you see things like whenever you are on let's say a website, you want to save your password and username so that you don't forget. This is where it's always stored. You have date and time. You can change your date and time. You can set it. You have ease of access. You have all this. You have network and so all this. You have region. You can set your region. You have storage spaces. We are going to do that later. But what I want us to do today in this video is to speak about user accounts. What do I mean by user accounts? Let's say you have one laptop or one desktop computer in a house, in a family, and everyone in the family is using that computer. You don't want to give everyone same username. You don't want everyone to be using just one username to log in every time. You want everyone to have a separate user profile. So to do that, you're going to click on user accounts, and then you can see right now I have admin, local account administrator. This is the only account on this computer right now. So what you can do is add more users. So let's say you have a son that will be using it. You are going to go to manage another account. You are going to, you see I have Abdul, so I'm going to actually remove Abdul. I'm going to actually delete that account, so we create the account fresh. Delete account. So now what I'm going to do, let's go back, let's start again. I'm going back to control panel. Let's start again. Control panel. Remember we want to create a user now. Clicking on that, I have this. You are going to click on manage another account, and then add new user in PC settings, and then I'm going to say add someone to this PC, and then I'm going to give the person a name. Let's say the name of the person that will be using this laptop also is Abdul, and I'm going to give the person a password, and then security questions. What is the name of the city where you were born? Lagos. And then the next thing is security question. Remember, when I was explaining this, when I was installing Windows in the first lesson, I told you the reason for this security question. This security question, you have to put they are mandatory, they are required, and the reason is if you forget your password to log into the account, if you forget the password, you are going to be asked for the security questions. If you get the security questions and answer correctly, then you are going to be allowed to reset your password. You can see I have an account called Abdul now. So now Abdul can also use this computer. So let's see how that works. You can see it if I close it now. And another thing I would like to mention is because I am able to create another account on this laptop because I am an admin. I have the admin privilege to do that. If you don't have the admin privilege to do that, then you won't be able to create another account. Do you understand that? So admin privilege. So let's log out and try and log in with Abdul. So I'm going to sign out. I'm going to sign out and then log in with Abdul. So now you can see Abdul here already. So if I click on Abdul and I'm just going to do the password for Abdul, and you can see Abdul is logging in now. That means we have another user. If I'm not using it, someone else, I would have given Abdul his password. Abdul can get the laptop and also use it so that Abdul can always save his own folders, his own application that is using. He can also have a private account where he's storing everything he is using. So that is what this is all about. I hope you understand this, and let's get started. While this is going on, I don't want to pause this video. I want you to see what happens when this is done. So it's asking me for all these questions, so I'm just going to quickly choose anything and then go ahead. Just a moment. It's setting everything ready for Abdul. Now Abdul is ready now Abdul is ready. Can you see that Abdul is ready now? So with Abdul's now, this is Abdul's taskbar. If I unlock it, I can also move the taskbar. I've explained this before. I'm just showing you that. So that's what you can do with this. Now that Abdul is locked in, let me show you some things you can do on the taskbar as well. If you click on here and you can see this application game bar, you can, if you know you use it every now and then, there is an application you keep using and using and using, you can pin it to this taskbar. So you are going to see it down here. Can you see here? So anytime you need it, you don't need to go to start, you can always see it here. Let's do that for Skype as well. More, and then pin to taskbar. Can you see that now? So if you do that, you are going to have all your application that you know you always use, you are going to have them on your taskbar. And that's that I want to just say to you there. Now let's try something else. Let's go to control panel. Remember the control panel, that's where you control everything on your computer. Now if I want to go back to where I'm making accounts, look at that. Go to user accounts and let's try and create another account with Abdul's account now. So if I say manage another account, can you see what it's saying now? This is saying to Abdul, you don't have admin privilege. In order for you to be able to create an account on this computer, please enter admin username and password. And this is the admin username. So Abdul doesn't know the password of the admin, so Abdul won't be able to create a user account. So that's what that is. If you say so, I'm sure you understand that now. So with Abdul, Abdul doesn't have the admin privilege. That's why Abdul cannot create another user account. So that's what that is. So I'm going to sign out from Abdul and then sign back in with admin. Click on the admin and the password again and the password again, and that will take me in now. I'm waiting for it, and that is ready. So what I want to do now, the next thing I want to do, remember this is Windows 10. Let's do an in-place upgrade. An in-place upgrade. I have this computer here. This is another computer. It's called Ubuntu. So it's Mac. It's Mac operating system. So it's not Windows operating system. It's Mac operating system. So let's do what do we call it? Let's try and do I'm waiting for this to start. Let's try and do in place upgrade. Oh, there is a problem with this continue. Let me see if it's going to work. There's a problem with this virtual machine.